Disc by Phish. I have come to understand that this is an instrumental. I actually need to turn my headset up. I've come to understand that this is an instrumental, and I'm pretty juiced about it. It seems like a pretty short banger. We got a nice, juicy 9 songs, totaling out to 35 minutes, with about a third of the album being in this song, What's the Use? So, and it also seems like, hilariously enough, the longest song is the most listened to song on Spotify. So you gotta love it. Guys, I am going to probably be pumping out a bit more Phish content since I've decided I'm going to go to the Hollywood Bowl for the 3 days. I figure if I put out Phish videos, I'm going to be more familiar with the Phish catalog when I get there. I also kind of like the idea of using the income that comes from me listening to Phish to get the tickets to listen to Phish, if that makes any sense to you at all. Feels like a way I can give back to them for meaning something to me. I don't know. I'm trying to explain it the best way I can, but that's just kind of where my mind's eye is at. But neither here nor there. The Siket disc, studio album number 8. We're going to hop in. And yeah, I'm really excited, guys. I am going to hit the play button. But before I do, it's very important to me that you understand that you are awesome, that you are valuable, that you are important, that you matter, that you are deserving of love, and that I am abundantly grateful for even a moment of your time. If you like what you see, feel free to hit the like and the subscribe button. It goes a long way to help me out. And if you really like what you see, leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. Or join us on Twitch. I stream every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Arizona time. Come hang out with us. Come discover music with us. I have a great community of people that just like listening and talking about music. It's actually a comically positive corner of the internet. We'd love to have you by. Guys, without further ado, let's get fishy, huh? The Siket disc. Let's go. My Left Toe. Since it's an instrumental, we're gonna look at this thing. I love this bass sound, and the drum sound is just so nice. I love that I can hear the room. It's a real loose bass sound. And there's just this soft droning in the, like, kind of pick droning in the back. The bass drum is kind of tickling my fancy. There's a tiny bit of it that makes me feel like it's a bit of the instrumental of Punch You in the Eye, but just slowed down and kind of progressively building up, it feels that way. Like they're giving it more sauce. Like, I'm not kidding. I'm not making this up, am I? Like, the decibels are getting louder. They're increasing. Drums. I'm really enjoying the mustard element here. It's a sweet mustard, you know? I like that. I feel like this doesn't feel like, honestly, it doesn't feel like over the top produced. Like, it feels like it's pretty raw sound. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Like, maybe I don't really know anything about it other than that it's like an instrumental album. So if you know anything about the recording process or whatever this is, like, please do let me know. Like, did they seek out to make an instrumental album? Was this like just kind of the vibe that they were in '99? Like, just I'm interested. But and again, I do have to pause at some point among each song simply because I can't upload the whole full-length reaction if I let a song play all the way through. YouTube's rules. But again, when I'm listening to this, I feel like there's that like kind of ambient sort of droning thing. And when I say it's like a sweet mustard, I'm saying it in the sense that like there is the ever so slightest case of dissonance with all of these kind of reverbs crashing into each other. But again, it feels like such a raw sound. Like it does, I don't know another way to say it. Like it doesn't feel like it was mastered. Feels like it was mixed, but not I'm saying that right. I'm saying what I mean. And I know that sounds like a weird thing that you can hear, but like hearing the drums in particular and hearing how these reverbs are kind of toppling over one another, those are sounds that most of the time in mastering get hard, kind of like shimmed off, so to speak. So yeah, forgive me for rambling for a bit. And how wobbly the low end of the bass sounds in particular. You hear this like whale drone kind of sound? There's this like the guitar drone kind of has like I don't know if it's like I don't think he uses an element of tremolo. He has that vibro. I think I'm getting close to the point that I'm just gonna look at a rig rundown like from the different time periods. I don't know. I'm interested though, like because it sounds like a tremolo sound, but it sounds kind of wobbly. But then again, there's this like really heavily like this. It sounds kind of like he's playing chords with both of the screamers on to get a real buzz out of it. On like a humbucker pickup, on like the neck pickup of his humbuckers. That snare sound, it's such a particular, like, this was done in a room without too much TLC, and it gives this album like a special thing to me. It's like you can hear the room echoing in the snare pop. Getting so big and these swells and wobbly sounds give it such a beautiful resolve. Man, I really enjoyed that one. That was super good. I like that there's this element, like, there was this element of, like, clean, not too much mustard, but a little bit of mustard, but enough to enjoy it without feeling like you're eating a mustard sandwich. But there was also kind of, like, a more like a deep ethereal kind of sound to the presence there, right? Like, it was a beautiful soundscape and had the tiniest bit of tension to it, but it's like, it's like the song gave you like a little bit of a love bite, you know what I mean? Like, not enough to like leave some teeth marks, but enough to let you know that they loved you. Maybe that's a weird analogy, but it's the one that feels right. The next one is The Name is Slick. So I was researching. I watched a documentary today on Sly and the Family Stone. It just came out on Hulu. By the way, go and watch it. I'm going to be jumping into Sly and the Family Stone's albums after watching it. At least the first and second one. The first one being like way experimental, and the second one, I guess, being where they like found it, so to speak. But yeah, I guess I accidentally swiped and must have queued it up earlier, but neither here nor there. Now The Name is Slick. And I actually want to go back and see if it transitions. Oh, no, it was just dead time. Okay. There we go. I like the little conversation here between Trey and Mike. It's a real poppy pick attack sound. And I say pop as in like pop, not like pop music. Like, you can hear the pick attack on those pickups. It's feeling funky. Little funk jazzy. This is already getting a like, by the way. What a vibe, dude. I like this softness, but I like the contrast that this pop, these like really hot poppin' pickups are providing to the rest of this like kind of atmospheric jazz sound meets psychedelia. Like early psychedelia, though. And shout out to Mike, man. Wait. Did I just hear voices? I'm gonna turn my headset like real loud because I felt like I heard voices. Ugh, and I hear my voice more now. You can hear them. They were like just a little bit, but you could hear them talking amongst themselves. Really made my headphones hot there. Yeah. I like that. What a less is more something burger. It's such a simple, kind of delicate arrangement, honestly. But like, it's not like a nothing burger. So I said something burger in this context. It's like a nice little like a sandwich. You know what I mean? Like yeah, it's just one of those like. It's an actual easy listen. I feel like this is gonna become my workplace repeat playlist for a bit. You will let me be myself again. Really messed it up there. I don't know why, but that's kind of what I'm hearing in my brain. But I also, in fairness, just watched a documentary this very morning on Sly and the Family Stone. So it's very possible, it's like so possible that that's in my head because of that. And it's kind of just that like Larry Graham sound bass. Wow, wow. And this little like Rhodes sound is just the sexiest little noise. I feel like babies were made to this album in a big way, dude. This is What's the Use? So this is like the popular song. Oh! Listen to that sustain! I can hear the room. There is no way that this is like a massively like this is not the same kind of production level as the other albums. This is such a like a raw like this sound has this kind of nature to it, right? Like you can feel them kind of brushing up against each other, and like while the other albums all have an element to that, it's all like a lot of it shimmed off, you know what I mean? There's like a little element to that because I guess the way they record, they can't necessarily escape it, but there really is this like you can hear them brushing up against each other. Like it's the best way I can describe the sound in the room. But I'm gonna go back a little bit, just give this I'm gonna actually just start from the beginning again. I love that voice in the beginning. And then the you hearing the delay. The dive going, the upward sound over here. You can hear the directions of individual noises. I'm getting a sustain boner. And the decay on this bass sound. Sustain boner. Sustains boners. It's just so much sound. It's like Phish had a baby with grunge, and that baby took a psychedelic dump. I love it. And when I say a psychedelic dump, I mean, of course, the baby of Phish and grunge taking a psychedelic dump is obviously like, you know, a good thing. I just can't think of a way to make it seem that way right now. So actually, if you guys just want to nix that comment, like, I'd be cool with it. You don't have to, you know. I feel kind of weird that I said that now and that it's sort of stuck in the video unless I edit it out, and I'm just not gonna. So, I'm sorry. Oh, the wobble. Is that twisting delays? That was such a low bass note in the left ear. And we still have the sustain going, dude. It's levitating like here. That's a loop. Sort of, it's not syncopated. It's a loop that isn't like completely perfectly syncopated. So there's this like tiny little rub, but it's almost. Ah, this is the mustard of time. Totally different tone. Playing on top of himself. Love this tone so much. It's a real Pink sound to me. And orange. Ah, dude. I think what's really... He's still going. Oh, man. This. These little uplifting leads here. And then you've got like these spaceshipy, like Ascent and Zenith. It's it's so cool. Ascent, Descent. Here's some mustard with the bass. And then the pianos. I'm turning it up. Ascent, wobbly descent, chaos, transition. I've got to say that this has been some of the most less is more drumming by Fishman I've heard. It's so interesting to me because he fits himself right into this beautiful little thing, and it's like, it's less is more. His atmosphere, by being just the delicate backbone to these compositions. And I don't know if hey, thank you for following, Smicky. I don't know if these things are, you made me lose my thoughts, Smicky. I'm not even live. I'm gonna go back. I want to see if I can find it. Overdubs. I was wondering if there were overdubs. That was my question. But I'm hesitant to believe that there are. And I like that we've I'm gonna shut up. Is this synth arpeggiation? I can't decide if this low drone, I can't decide if I think it's a low loop on, like if it's a low loop that Trey has made. I can't decide if it's like a really low droney arpeggiation. Like provided by the keys, or if this is somehow some sustained wobbly bass reverb presence. Like, I don't know. The music itself has this element. I don't know if you've ever stepped up to a piano and you step on the sustain pedal and you press the keys, or you just play a song and you keep that pedal pressed, eventually a lot of the notes kind of topple over each other as the sound decays. And there's this element of this song entirely that reminds me of the sound of a piano decay. By just keeping your foot pressed on the pedal and playing, it's again like the decay of the individual notes sometimes, and sometimes it sounds really cool. Sometimes it gives your your music, whatever you're playing, a little bit of mustard, a little bit of whatever, just a cool sound combination, right? But this part of this song reminds me of that sort of interaction of sound. In concept, it doesn't sound like it to me. Ba-da-da. This is just fulfilling noise. It's like, it kind of reminds me of like ethereal characters interacting the way I would imagine. Like how I was gonna say a little bit reminds me of like how the DMT creatures talk to each other. Which is, I recognize a thing that only some of you are gonna be like, so forgive me. I don't think people, neither here nor there. Like not a pound for pound sound recreation, but reminiscent of. Then that snare at the end. Phish bass. I feel like I'm listening to a dryer that's out of balance. While somebody's playing a video game. Like an arcade machine. This sounds like a dryer that's out of balance in a wind tunnel. Am I wrong? This really chucks a bucket of cold water over you after a song like What's the Use, doesn't it? Dang. Okay, so quadrophonic toppling. I actually really like this. If you're not familiar with quadrophonics, it's imagine like putting a microphone in each of the four corners of a room and aiming them at the center and like recording the sound from all of those different directions and then like placing that sound to where your ears hear it. That's like one thing that made Dark Side of the Moon, for example, so special, because it was quadrophonically recorded. So the sound wasn't just a mono sound. You were hearing it in places, which was just different than hearing it, because you have two ears. Like, look what we can do with these things, right? Like these bodies we have, they're super cool. And the way sound interacts with these bodies that we have is super cool. And so, yeah, quadraphonic recording was one of those things that changed the way sound was, you know? So, or at least the way it was captured. So I'm really excited about this one, if only because of the name.
Quadrophonic Toppling.
Ooh, that was a sound, like a voice.
Quadrophonic Toppling.
It's only the right side, but I can't tell what I'm hearing.
Quadrophonic Toppling.
You hear that tapping?
Quadrophonic Toppling.
I'm hearing like a low drone. Like it sounds as if, like Mike doesn't loop, does he? Does Mike make loops? Because this sounds like he played like a bass note sustain, or is like holding a pedal that is creating a this. I wonder if I can throat sing to this. I'm not gonna try it anymore today. Ugh. This song has just a lot of low end. Even in the drum sound, a lot of bass drum and by the way, love this. I like hearing them talk in the background, dude. Adds a layer of a person to it. It's like he's walking in front of his amplifier. Why do I feel like I'm about to hear a Foo Fighters song? This sounds that drum sound part reminds me a little bit of My Hero by Foo Fighters. Like I'm waiting for the bass line to come in. This is kind of like a walk. There's a little bit of a grit to this one. I like his use of the squeal here. You hear horn in the back? That dun 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 dun. I'm hearing like, it feels like I'm hearing like a trumpet. Honestly, this reminds me kind of that song I heard from Lennon Claypool, Delirium. Obviously, this came first. Huh? There's a circus element to this, but like a creepy circus element, like a haunted house circus element. This feels like, in my brain, what I imagine Hunter S. Thompson's brain sounded like in Fear and Loathing, as he's like walking around just blitzed. Like looking at everything change. This is the song that would scare me to listen to if I thought too much into it, listening to psychedelics. I feel like this is a song that would potentially get me a little dark because of the kind of imagery my sober brain has. But like in a haunted house is fun kind of way. Like, it's not the song that, like, makes you have a bad trip, but it's like you see a happy face on something and then you see an evil face right next to it, but it's like they're both there and you're fine. It's that vibe I'm getting. What is this decay? Somebody tell me this noise. Like, what is that? What does that sound? Insects. Ooh. Ooh. Let's go, Phish! Friggin' Phish! Men! We're gonna listen to this whole Phish part again. This is, listen. Okay, we're gonna start with the bass drum, okay? 1, 2, 3. Now, so you've got that. So just imagine his foot. right? Listen to what his hand is doing. And then you've got his hand on a rim shot as well. So you got one hand over here going like his body is free moving right now. These rim shots on the snare drum. Whoa. This is actually making me a little like, I'm listening too intently and like my brain is trying to count everything that's happening at the same time. Like at the same time that Fishman is doing these crazy drum parts, right? Which again, every of his appendages is doing something dramatically different and of different timing. For perspective. He is free phalange right now. He is free phalange Phish right now. Just doing whatever, okay? But then you have these droning sounds, right? Like, you've got this wah, 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 and then you're gonna have this. I don't know what that noise is. And then you've got like this almost and it's like there's an element where it would almost be fatiguing to listen to if it didn't have like all of the different parts to be able to grab onto. But if when I like listen to the mass, like I had a moment of getting like a little like, okay, I gotta stop. I gotta ground myself. So I'm gonna let it go. It's just so cool, man. And he's switching from like the bell of the ride to so I'm definitely getting the insect. I'm understanding why this song is called Insects. On the sound, for sure. The drums, dude. And the transition out of that. I am wonderfully anxious right now, in a good way. The car crash. The car crash. Title track. Ironic that the song title track is not the title track, and that there is in fact not a title track apart from the song title track, which is not necessarily aptly named. I feel like I just made a connection again with the car crash. What is that noise? A day in the life. Oh! Yes! I loved the end of that song! To the point that we're gonna just run that back. And I'm pausing it now so I can say I paused it in the middle of the song, and I'm gonna let it play out in transition. I feel like this is the intro of a movie sequence. This tom roll pianos. I feel like we were about to hear the Dolby sound, you know? Like, again, like it reminded me a lot of A Day in the Life there. I love this tone on Albert, though. Huh? Oh, yeah. This reminds me of In the Light by Led Zeppelin from Physical Graffiti. And not as... No, 10 Years Gone, maybe? Maybe a little bit of... yeah, we're gonna go back to the beginning on this one too, dude. So there is I'm not gonna say a specific song from Led Zeppelin. I think I'll say more specifically like there's a Physical Graffiti guitar sound kind of element to me here, which is I mean I've made it very clear that Physical Graffiti has been my favorite of Zeppelin's work. Yeah, 10 Years Gone. Is it an A? My ears are literally being tickled right now. This might be my favorite sound on it. I could get lost in this one. Albert's special, dude. This was like ending the album with a kiss on the cheek, dude. Like, from a loved one. Like, this really... I really, really, really loved the heck out of this. I felt like, honestly, there was just a kindness to the sound. There was big, and there was some tension, and there was some what the heck. And there was, like... Again, this... The kiss on the cheek, or like a hug from a friend, you know what I mean? But at some parts of it was like getting a bear hug from a friend, where your friend like spun you around in the bear hug, and like other times was like, you know, like having a shoulder there for you. There was a lot of different emotional elements to the different sounds, like that you can have this instrumental sound ranging from like the feeling of thank you for being there for me, and also the feeling of like, what the heck is this sound, like dryer sound in a wind tunnel, and then also to just hear this like it. I would maybe describe that the Albert song is like the sound of kind of a, you know, a peaceful epiphany. Of positivity. I don't know. There was just really something kind of kind about this music to me. And it was like not dissimilar to listening to them with lyrics, right? Like there is an an element of like that you could almost kind of hear how they would use these kinds of instrumentation, this kind of instrumentation to like transition in their song, or like in moments of jam, or whatever the case. So it felt very much like listening to Phish, but it felt like listening to Phish without lyrics. Oh man, I'm stupid. It felt like listening to Phish, but felt like listening to Phish without lyrics. Listens to an instrumental album. Well, guys, after that friggin' nugget of genius, I'm gonna say goodbye. I love you, though. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for the positivity that you show both to me and to one another. Continue to be the best. And until I see you next, be introspective and consider the birds. And whatever you do, take care of your shoes. Goodbye.